If you swear in the first 10 seconds of a show, it's demonetized. Fuck Tim Paulson. Tim Paulson can't come. And he told me it's 8 p.m. here, and he told me it's 7:59. So he said he's going to jump on whenever he can. He's been trying to get a project done in his house for months. The guy just turned up to price it or whatever. So he's going to jump on if he can. So expect a lot of Tim Paulson roasting for the next while. All right, we've got Haley Murillo, who was last week's winner. We've got Brandon Swan, who was 2 weeks ago was winner. And we've got 3 topics. I mean, fucking hell. Like, if you come last in this, I'm basically going to be giving Tim negative points every round he doesn't enter. So what we'll do, I'll go through my obligatories. So btwb.com/all-in-one. They will move you across, they'll move all your clients across, they'll move your whole affiliate database across, all the payment methods, all that kind of stuff. Just goes through like a Nigerian prince's account once, and then it comes straight back and moves over to Beyond the Whiteboard from whatever you're using. They do back-end stuff for Justin Medeiros, Dallin Pepper, Jeffrey Adler. That's a good company to be in. Mayhem, other people as well. I don't know. I probably should have a list, but anyway, they're great. So our first topic. Oh, fuck! Do you know what? I'm actually annoyed you're here.
It's a shit show in our house right now.
I had so many jokes planned for you not for like speaking to a blank screen. I thought of like 10 on the spot, and I was like, all right, cool, I'll just run with that. I'm just going to roast the shit out of him for half an hour.
I mean, hey, you told more than justified. No, we're trying to get a fencing reinstalled in our backyard because we're selling our house and blah blah blah. So like the guy's supposed to be here at 3:30, and apparently my wife thought he was here and he's not, so we're good.
Oh, okay. So you're not even getting the job done. Anything to keep your kids contained, right? Building a big fence, electrified as well, I assume. Okay, Tim, I was just telling everyone how great Beyond the Whiteboard is. So just that's all. That's all you really missed. Okay, so Tim is our champion from like 3 weeks ago. I can't remember who you beat. Oh, I remember
Emily.
two people that didn't really give a shit. That's how I remember it in my head. It was like Tim kind of cared, the other two couldn't give a fuck. They were just there making up numbers. That's how I remember. It
just wasn't contested. You wanted to see some more argument. There wasn't enough banter. That's all.
I want some sand in the eyes. I want like, a few sack taps or whatever. Okay. we'll go with our first topic. I need to share my screen. Get that up. Okay. Our first topic is Haley, you're going to go first because you're closest to me. So you lose twice. So you're close to me and you have to go first. Our first topic. So there's been an awful lot of talk since Tim came on the show, actually, because it was Mads on that show, I think. And maybe that was with Swanee. I'm not sure who that was. But there's been a lot of talk since then about CrossFit selling and how they need to increase the value of the company, and they need to make the shareholders happy, and by doing that they need to increase the value, and then they'll sell the company in 3 to 5 years time, because that's what private equity does. But they're not selling, but they're selling, but they're not selling, but they're going to sell. So my question is, how could they add value to the company? What's the best way for CrossFit to add value to potential buyers? So Haley, you're going to go first. You got 60 seconds. Your time starts now.
All right. So at this point, short-term solutions are pretty much the only option. I think that if we take current professional athletes that are outside of the CrossFit space and we market them, I think that we could help this thing grow and get more eyeballs on us. I think there's a lot of professional athletes that are using CrossFit to supplement their training. And I think that there was a huge missed opportunity with Tyson Bagent, who started as a quarterback for the Chicago Bears. I think CrossFit HQ completely blew over that. Like, he's literally starting in the NFL, and he's talking about how CrossFit got him there. Where's the documentary? Like, why aren't we talking about this more? I think that we need to add this type of value for someone to want to buy this.
Yeah. They're probably busy finishing off the documentary that they made from the Canes last year.
20 years ago.
Yeah, just wherever that footage is. All right, Swanee, you're up next. You got 60 seconds. Time starts now. Off you go.
Cool. Yeah, I looked at this more from an affiliate standpoint. And if we look at the affiliate model currently, people essentially pay a subscription or an affiliation fee for 1 year. At Dad Hours, we do a similar thing with a subscription-based service. But if you pay for a year, it's cheaper than paying for a month at a time, for example. And I think we could look at doing that for affiliates, where we offer a multi-year affiliation at a discounted rate, which effectively is going to increase the revenue of the company at the time or currently. But it's also going to ensure that those affiliates remain within the community for a longer period of time. So when you go to sell the company, you've got, hey, I've got these many affiliates that are going to be part of your business going forward for the next 5 years versus 1 year. So my suggestion would be to create some sort of model that allows that and rewards affiliates who want to be around the community for longer with a cheaper fee.
All right, Tim, you got 60 seconds. Time starts now. Off you go.
Oh, man. I think it all comes back to media. I just think like improving the value and the vision of the brand. Like at the end of the day, people who are buying the company, they want to see growth. They want to see growth of affiliates. They want to see growth of people doing CrossFit. And I really like Haley's idea that like getting the big names who do CrossFit outside of the space and using them. But just, it always comes back to me to just like tell more stories and push that stuff out there. They just don't. There are too many awesome stories in CrossFit. There are too many awesome people, celebrity and otherwise, in CrossFit, and their stories just aren't told. And I think if you want to improve the value of the brand and you want to improve their growth, which is what investors are going to want to see, or what someone buying the company is going to want to see, it all comes back to that. And of course, that means a short-term hurdle of having to, guess what, hire a media department and spending money to do that. But at the end of the day, I think, again, if we're talking about a 3 to 5 year period, you could see a massive amount of returns on pumping out that media and increasing their advertising budget to actual marketing channels where people actually fucking listen to it.
Oh, he swore. It's an extra point. All right, Haley, you got 20 seconds. Bollocks. I did that so well last week and I fucked it up there. Sorry. Okay. You got 20 seconds of rebuttals or build on your own point. Your time starts now. Off you go.
Yeah, I was just going to tap onto my point before. I think that there are so many athletes out there, professional athletes that are using CrossFit to make themselves better at their specific sport. And just like Tim was saying, it's like, why aren't we pushing these out there? Like, we need to see this. This is what people want.
All right, Swanee, 20 seconds. Time starts now. Off you go.
No, first of all, fuck for extra points. And I think we should also offer discounted education on the same point I was talking about before. So CrossFit could offer affiliate owners discounted level 3s and level 4s and their coaches to increase coaching quality in those boxes over the next 5 year period.
And Tim, last 20 seconds are yours. Off you go.
I actually really like Brandon's idea, but I think they also need to figure out what the level 4 is and solidify up some level 3 things, because I've got my level 3 and attaining enough CEUs to keep your level 3 active is actually quite a difficult endeavor. So there might need to be some more work done on CrossFit's end to actually increase what goes towards a CEU.
Cool. All right. I'm just going to do some points. I have some feedback if you guys are interested.
From you or from the fans?
Haley, you have the same mic as I do.
Yeah.
And it sounds like you're in a fucking valley or a church or something.
I'm in like a room, so I don't know.
there's a not insubstantial echo. Mine is quite bad, so I'm nobody to judge. I'm nobody to judge, though, to be honest. You're still like audible.
Okay.
And some other points. Tim, so they have a media team. They do. It's small. It's a very small team. Like they had 45 people on the floor at Semifinals East there, Syndicate Crown. They had like 45 media people on the floor, and they just released what are we, 2.5 weeks later? They released one video where not one single snatch is seen from initiation to completion of lift. So you see like 40 different snatches that you don't actually see. You don't actually see what a snatch is like. If you're, if you know what a snatch is, you're like, oh, they're snatching. But if you've seen it for the first time, you're like, oh, what? Oh, no, it's a new person. What? Oh, no, gone again. Yeah, so it's kind of, where are we? How will affiliates pay multiple years and they say they barely can afford a year? Yeah, but I mean, if they can, I guess is the thing, isn't it? The interesting point there is I really do like Brandon's idea of essentially duping the potential buyers by showing them really healthy financials of like, look how much money we made this year. Then they buy the company and we're like, by the way, everybody paid up for 5 years. That money's gone. Best of luck. But you've got a real loyal customer base that owe you nothing for the next 5 years. I really do like that.
If nothing else, though, I think that definitely shows that, like, I mean, at least those affiliates are invested. Like, you're the consumer you want. Like, they're the client that you want if you're buying the company. Is like, they're bought in for 5 years. Like, yeah, they're gonna lap your shit up for the next 5 years, and then they're probably gonna buy it again.
Mm-hmm. Tyson, I think it was a missed opportunity by some. I think it was a missed opportunity by HQ. I think it was a missed opportunity by like the media team, by people who are identifying like just like keeping your finger on the pulse. The lack of finger pulse keeping is fucking astonishing. Like the stuff that just breezes past, where it's like, and I think as well, a large part of the problem is they seem to have CrossFit as a company seem to have like a timeline for, okay, well, in June we're going to do this week 1, and then week 2 we're doing this, and week 3, and then something happens and it's like, no, because we've already said what we're doing in June, week 1 and week 2, so that's going to have to wait until July. And it's like, oh, cool. So when it's not relevant anymore, nobody cares, and it's already been covered by 5 other people. Cool, yeah, we'll do it then. Anyway, points. Everybody got 2. So Haley, really like your idea. It's just kind of preaching to the choir, I guess. Tim echoed a lot of your similar points to you. So, can't really detract any points there. And Swanee is essentially committing corporate espionage, or I don't know how you describe it. Financial. He's like,
you said come up with an idea. I came up with an idea. I'm saving this thing.
Yeah. It's like, yeah, the boat is fine. There's no holes in it. It's like, what's that tape? Don't worry about the tape. What tape? Okay, so second topic. So Swanee, you're going to go first on this one. So if you are at a loose end later on, I'll be in bed. But on the spin this evening, Brian Spin, Tyler Watkins from Heat One app, and John Young are going to be talking about programming the CrossFit Games. In a couple of days' time, Get With The Programming are going to be doing the same thing with J.R. Howell, who, if you don't know who J.R. Howell is, he's just like fucking genius, Haley, right? Like,
he is. He's
phenomenal.
Good stuff.
So my question for you guys was, what workout would you program if you could program a workout for the CrossFit Games? So Swanee, you're going to go first on this one. You got 60 seconds. Your time starts now. Go.
I'm very glad you asked this question, because I did a workout on Monday that I actually said would be an epic CrossFit Games workout, and that is the hero workout Daniel. So Daniel is for time 50 pull-ups, run 400 meters, 21 thrusters at 95, 65 pounds, then run 800, 21 thrusters, run 450 pull-ups. And I just finished the workout, and I was talking to a couple of guys who are training for the games in a team this year. And I said, this would be an epic workout, but with chest to bar pull-ups and 135, 95-pound thrusters for the elite guys. I think it was just in the Service Cup. It's a hero workout that many people are familiar with, so people in the community can really compare the performances between games athletes and elite level and themselves. Have had experience with this workout before. It's quite well known in the space as a hero workout as well. So, and I always love seeing those sort of updated hero workouts or remakes of classics at the game. So I think that'd be a great workout.
Good stuff. Tim, 60 seconds. Time starts now. Off you go.
All right. This is also a workout that I just programmed recently, but mine's just a classic MGW triplet. They're like my absolute favorite go-to CrossFit workout. So I've got 3 rounds, 9 heavy sandbag cleans, 200, 150, 11 ring muscle ups for the guys, 8 for the ladies, and then a 400-meter run. And again, it just kind of, it stands out to me as this like stingy, kind of almost Helen-esque type workout that is just like so core CrossFit to me. And also it would play out really nicely walking down the field. You got to advance the sandbag every 3 reps so you can see the race until that final 400-meter run. They got to sprint up the field. It looks sexy. And yeah, it's just heavy sandbag, little bit of muscle ups, probably going to try to go unbroken, but you're probably going to implode towards the end of the workout. So it has that nice little risk reward factor, a lot of upper body fatigue. So yeah, it's the classic home run swing of CrossFit, if you ask me.
You lost your swearing points for saying sexy. Okay, Haley, you got 60 seconds. Time starts now. Off you go.
All right, so we have a celebrity client, and she was asking us about the CrossFit Games, and we were explaining to her the workouts, the programming, and she was completely lost. And then we were like, "Hey, they have a 5K," and she was like, "Oh, I've done a 5K," and it immediately sparks interest. So what I want to do is I want to take some tests that people are familiar with, like, for example, a 1 mile run, right? Like, we've all done that. It's super brutal, super easy to follow. It would be so cool to see that. This next part might ruffle some feathers, but I was going to suggest maybe high rocks for event 1. There is a huge market in the fitness world right now, and the eyeballs are on high rocks. I think it would be really cool to bring in a bunch of eyeballs from outside of the CrossFit space, watch CrossFit athletes do this for event 1, and then we have all these people hooked for the rest of the weekend. So I think that would be really cool.
All right. Where are we going now? 20 seconds. All right, Swanee, you've got 20 seconds. Time starts now. Off you go.
I think when it comes to programming, you don't want the programming to be the centerpiece. You want the athletes performing that workout to be the centerpiece. So again, going back to my idea of programming Daniel at 135.95 with chest to bar pull-ups, I think you're going to have athletes potentially go unbroken in the first back half, and there's going to be lots of drama in the back end of that workout. So again, that's why I program that.
Fuck, I wasn't quick enough to mute you. All right, Tim, 20 seconds. Time starts now. Off you go.
I just say that I hope we see more CrossFit at the CrossFit Games. I don't like the trend we've seen in a couple of years where we have a lot of, single modality tests. Like, I think going into that bias, even though we have 15 tests plus or minus for the weekend, I still think we should do a little bit more CrossFit, toss some nuances in there, but keep it core.
And Haley, last 20 seconds are yours. Off you go.
All right. So if I were to repeat a workout, it'd be the Burden Run. It was in 2013. I think that event would be really, really fun to watch. It happened so long ago. It's a little bit of something for everybody, and that's just pure CrossFit at its core.
Yeah.
And High Rocks isn't single modality.
It is.
I did the Burden Run, and I don't want to ever see it again. I still have nightmares about that workout.
It is a single modality when you don't squat below parallel. It is, so it's fine. You did the same thing last week, Haley. You fucking changed your answer in your 20 seconds. And you just
I just added another answer.
All right. Yeah, it's interesting. I personally imagine Dave viewing programming high rocks as bending the knee, and I don't think that's the type of thing that he'd do. I don't think he'd be like, "Oh, sure, guys, come on in." I just don't. Although he's done like obstacle course
races. We let
Hunter
McIntyre in a couple of years ago, so it's.
Yeah, I don't know if he was behind that decision, but yeah, I take your point. But he did program like obstacle course racing and stuff after it stopped being popular. So you never know. Maybe in 2 years' time, I might do high rocks. It's interesting as well, though. I wonder if you took a poll at a high rocks race, how many people know what CrossFit is? I feel like it's high enough. No, I feel like if you do high rocks, you just try CrossFit, and like you're like, nah, that's too hard. So you don't know.
I mean, I've done a high rocks, and I feel like a lot of people there have never stepped foot into an affiliate.
Yeah, maybe that's fair. Yeah, yeah. You also programmed like. Haley Adams would be great at a high rock, so that's just clever programming. All right, let's do ups and scores. Can't really fault anyone there either, to be honest. Like, nobody really said anything bad or like astoundingly amazing. I like the
hero. Amazing. What are you talking about?
I like the hero workout.
What do you want from us?
Bit of controversy. I like the hero workout. I like the comparison. I think that's always like a good thing to say, like, oh, I've done that workout and I did it in 12 minutes. How are they finished already? Like, I like that aspect of just seeing how I don't know, whatever ultra human they are. I like the notion of appealing to the broad masses by saying, hey, well, you've done a 1 mile run. So this is that. I think you kind of lost me. You were heading on a great track there, and then you kind of lost me a little bit when you said, like, so we should program high rocks, because I was like, right, well, not everybody knows what high rocks is, so it's kind of. And I like the fact that Tim sucked himself off as a good programmer by saying that his work at the E program was great. So yeah, everybody's just kind of keeping up with everybody here. Nobody's really losing anything. Anything there? Yeah, that's probably accurate. Happy Star, her first quarter probably is close to High Rocks, as we'll see. I cannot imagine, like, your 2024 CrossFit Games workout number 1 is High Rocks. I just can't picture it happening. It would be fucking hilarious. It would be so un-Castro to do it, like. But yeah, I just can't picture that happening. All right. Yeah, Jason makes a valid point here. We're heading for a 3-way tie. I have no contingency for that. Actually, I do have an idea of how to fix it if it's a tie. I almost want it to be a tie, because the way of fixing it is actually really good. All right, so Tim, you're first on this one. Then Haley, then Swanee. This is your last opportunity to humiliate your competitors and earn some points for yourself in the process. So we've had our Rich Fronings, we've had, like, down through the years, our Panchicks are, amazing spokespeople. Andy Thor's daughter. We've had people who are athletes who are on the seminar staff. We've had people who are athletes who are affiliate owners. My question for you is, when you look at the CrossFit Games field, the individual field for 2024, you look down the list of names, is there a name that stands out to you as them? They should be the spokesperson for CrossFit for the next 12, 24 months, whatever. They should be the person we're putting forward. They should be the person that we're getting interviewed in all different magazines, on, websites, on, like, TV, whatever social media kids are using, whatever. So Tim, you're up first. Who would you pick and why? You've got 60 seconds. Your time starts now.
I'm going to go Travis Mayer. That dude to me is like the pinnacle of consistency. He's been to the games more times than anybody gives him credit for, because his games profile cut a year off, and so they can't find it sometimes. But, he's a dad. He's got multiple kids. He owns an affiliate. He coaches. Like, he's just one of those guys who walks the walk kind of through and through, and is just, more involved in the community. And to me, like, that just seems like something that CrossFit will want to highlight, like someone who's actually involved in both aspects of this business. They're involved in the competitive side. They excel there. They're obviously tremendously fit, but at the same time, they're also a very normal, likable person. Travis is a funny dude. Again, he's got kids. People can relate to that. He owns a gym, so he actually interacts with members and with other coaches. So he's just kind of got, in my opinion, that kind of like total package. And again, at the end of the day, he's also just a funny, likable dude. He's someone who's easy to be around, and I think he'd be easy to put a camera in front of and get some funny little tidbits in addition to some good stuff.
Okay. Tim likes Travis. Pass it on. Okay. Haley, you've got 60 seconds. Your time starts now. Off you go.
All right. So if we want the sport to grow, we need to target younger generations. Right now we have 30, 40, 50-year-olds making up the bulk of CrossFit. So like you said, Rich Froning, right? He was at the front for a while. He's proved that the CrossFit method works by staying at the top for so long. He looks good. He speaks well. I don't think that we need to have a champion at the front right now, but I do think we need to have younger athletes that also kind of mimic that like superhero status. And I'm going with James Sprague. I think he's good looking. I think young men look up to him. He has a good energy. When you walk in the room, everybody lights up. For the women, I'm going Haley Adams. I think she reaches a huge demographic. I feel like a lot of young girls look up to her. And I feel like if we want the sport to grow, we need these type of athletes in the front so other young athletes want to do this as well.
Good stuff. All right, Swanee, you got 60 seconds. Time starts now. Off you go.
Both great answers. My answer, I think the person needs to be very inspirational, obviously, but equally relatable. We want them to relate to as many people as possible. My suggestion is third place on the women's side from the CrossFit Games last year, Arielle Lowen. I think she would be a phenomenal representative for the sport. Absolute badass athlete, but equally just your classic sort of girl next door, trains in her garage. She's a mum, she's a wife, and I love that whole, I guess, that comparison between the two sides of her. She's got this very normal side to her life, but she's also got this epic side where she competes and is the fittest mum in America, or fittest woman in America, at least for the time being. So I think she'd be a phenomenal representative of the sport. And I love... what was I going to say? I think she represents what the methodology was created for.
Yeah, you were going to say, I love Ariel, and then you stopped yourself. Like, shit, I'm married. Shit. All right. 20-second rebuttals. Tim, you're up first. You got 20 seconds. Your time starts now. Off you go.
No rebuttals at all. I think they're all honestly great choices. Like, CrossFit's got a plethora of great stories to tell. The only one I'm going to add is obviously the 6-time fittest woman on earth, Tia-Clair Toomey. Same thing, I think, from that perspective, very relatable, the most dominant athlete that our sport has ever seen, and has also shown that dominance in other disciplines as well, which again is just a great selling point to the masses.
Haley, 20 seconds. Time starts now. Off you go.
I'm going to tag on to Haley. I think that she has displayed that you can do CrossFit for a very long time and still look really feminine. I think a lot of girls need to see that. And I think she's a great advocate for the mental health, which is obviously a huge thing right now. So, and also Travis and Ariel, they were also on my list.
It's too late. Travis hates you now. Okay. Swanee, last 20 seconds are yours. Off you go.
I thought if you're going to take this thing on the road and you need someone to represent CrossFit on the worldwide sort of stage, giving talks, you'd also bring along a male athlete, and I'm suggesting Pat Vellner or Brent Fikowski, so you get that international flair, as well as two great public speakers.
Oh, man, you nearly got me with Brent.
He's been doing some modeling too. He's got that chiseled physique on the front of a magazine now. I mean, what more could you ask him?
What'd you say about his package, Haley?
Full package.
Oh, full package.
Full package.
Great package.
All right. Let's do some words. Right, Tim, you were doing okay. And then you said you sucked up your boss and said Tia. I don't like, she's good. She's a good, fucking ridiculous athlete. But you said she's relatable. Like, she's relatable in the fact that she has a kid and she's like, appears on the surface at least to be human, but like her performances and stuff just propel her into this different stratosphere that you're like, well, whatever she's doing isn't even close to possible. So I need to look at someone else and find someone that like I can maybe mimic or mirror or whatever. That's how I say mirror.
I think at the same time, like, we're human beings are obsessed with greatness. Like, we're that way in every sport. Like, we love to talk about Tiger Woods still, like we like to compare LeBron to Michael Jordan. It's like, that's part of like human nature. And if we're going to highlight the sport and kind of like, hey, like, this woman is definitely built different than the rest of humanity, hands down. Like, none of us can ever be her or be like her, but I still think that, like, yeah, she's still just a great person outside of that. And like, highlighting dominance, I think people love, and they love to talk about it for like decades to come. So assuming CrossFit's still around in 30 years, they're going to be talking about Tia for a very long time. So getting her out there while she's in her prime, I think is.
Yeah, but she's also your boss, and you're just like, it just dilutes whatever. All right, so going down through what everybody said, honestly, it's hard to argue against Ariel Lowen. It's hard to argue against Travis Mayer. I do just think that Ariel Lowen is making a brand for herself. I feel defying the odds. She's making a brand for herself. Like, she's making herself marketable through her display of her personality, through her efforts. Like, she puts in so much effort on social media compared to the rest of the field around her. Like, she never just.
It's also not contrived, or like it's.
That's it.
She's not selling products
like
or like
a body picture and say like, hey, like, subscribe to my fucking subscription thing or whatever. She like puts up workouts. She says, if you want to see the actual workout, subscribe. She puts up like at least like 2, maybe 3 a week, like really funny and different videos that you don't generally see around the place. She ropes in her kid, her husband, like they're just really nice people as well. Same Travis Mayer, like he's been around longer than Father Time. I just feel like Haley maybe took it on the fact that the time that we're living in now, the people that we need to appeal to are the people that are on TikTok, are the people that are on like Snapchat. Like it's just a fact of life, whether you like it or not. Granddad Paulson there in the corner, like it just is a fact of life. Like I teach kids and I hear them referencing random shit that I have no idea what they're talking about daily. And then I search it to see, like, should I be letting them talk about this? Should I be maybe interrupting them or whatever? And like, I've never heard anyone talk about CrossFit. I've never heard anyone mention it or whatever. And they're the people that we need to be appealing to. So I think, Haley, I'd also include like Guy, Alexis Raptis, another huge untapped resource there for CrossFit. Like there's a lot of like young people that should be, and James Sprague is an unbelievable shout. That's like fantastic. I'd throw in Dallin Pepper there as well. So yeah, Haley took it 6.5. Swanee on 6, Tim on 5.5. You'll all have to wait another few weeks to find out what my ingenious way that somebody DM'd me to do of sorting out a tiebreak. Haley, you got 30 seconds to talk about whatever you like. Your time starts now. Go.
All right, so I was actually going to bring up Crash Crucible, which is put on by J.R. Howell. It's in Spartanburg, South Carolina. I did it last year as a master's. The online qualifier is August 15th to August 18th, and the event is October 11th to the 13th. If you were an athlete that maybe missed semifinals or didn't make the games, I think this is something you should be keeping your eyes on. It's super fun, and he programs some really good shit.
Just to follow on from that, here's a direct quote from multi-year games athlete Colton Mertens. You won't find a smoother run competition than Crash or an organizer that cares more about the athlete and spectator experience than J.R. Howell. And while we're on the topic, if I can find it really quickly so that it doesn't take too long, here's another direct quote from multi-year games athlete Angelo DiCicco. Crash is one of the best run / programmed CrossFit events I have been to in my 11 years of competing in the sports. And that dude has been to the games multiple years. And he's also been to Wadapalooza, but he fucking hated it. So there's 2 resounding endorsements. 3, Haley, Angelo, and Colton. So if you are basically, like Haley's saying, if you're an almost games athlete and you want to cut your teeth, you'll be joining the likes of Shelby Neal, Jason Hopper, Luke Parker, Colton Mertens, James Sprague, there's heaps of others. I know there's heaps of others. And Jake, Drink Spade. And you will also get, sorry, I just read someone's comment there and I'm going to address it in a second. You'll also get an unbelievable experience if you're an athlete. You get unbelievable games level programming. You'll also get like a warm-up area, a cool-down area. You get that corralled sense because there's a special little door that he brings people out and they get to walk in onto the floor and stuff. It's fucking epic. And it's also going to be really well covered. Shut up for a second, Tim. I'm so shocked that Haley won. Pedro's really predictable. Swally should have won hands down. No offense, Haley. Why should he have won? It was a tie all the way through. And then Haley appealed to the market that CrossFit needs to appeal to the most. Swanee is talking about using a person who appeals to the market that has already been appealed to and that has already been tapped and that are already interested in it. And that's fine. It has its place. But if you want to grow and if you want to get a new spokesperson in, you pick your James Sprague, you pick your Alexis Raptis, you pick your Haley Adams. Look at how well that video Hiller did. So I'm sorry, T-Bird, that you don't like the winner that I picked, but start your own fucking debate show and give out points yourself then.
I'll come on your debate show, T-Bird.
Yeah.
Fuck this. We'll go
oh yeah, shit. You also get a shit ton of money at Crash as well. There's going to be ridiculous prizes, and there's like crazy sponsors, and it's just fucking cool. It's cool. All right, rest of the week. On Friday, tomorrow, Brent Fikowski's coming on tomorrow on the show proper. On Monday, Don Fall is coming on the show. I hope he doesn't watch the first 15 minutes of the show where I slated CrossFit. Fuck. And another debate next week. don't know who's on it. I think Angelo Chico might be coming on. Could be fireworks there. Okay. Tim, what were you going to say about Colton there?
Oh, just that his social media lately has been 10 out of 10. If you don't follow Colton, my God, it's been hilarious.
Yeah.
Thoroughly enjoy. I got to give that guy a high five.
Any other person using their own people in other shows.
Yeah, I'm coming through.
But then surely I'm not fucking predictable. If you said I was predictable, and you just said
really
any other time someone would do that, I'd take points off. No, but it was, you're fucking missing the point completely.
I'll be honest, I'm T-Bird. I have a separate laptop and I'm running these comments.
Goodbye, Tim. Thank you. Appreciate your time. Thanks, Swanee. Thanks, Haley. I'll see you, Haley, in like fucking 4 weeks or something.
Sounds good.
Thanks very much. Thanks everyone for watching. Come back tomorrow for Brian Fikowski for a good long 90 or so minute chat. Thank you. Good night. Goodbye.